I, 34 male, filed for divorce after discovering my wife's, 35 female, affair with her co-worker. We've been married for 8 years and together for 12. She's been acting cold towards me since last March. There were other suspicious things too. After some detective work, snooping actually, I came to learn she'd been having an affair with her co-worker. It was first emotional and then it became physical. I didn't confront her and I just kept acting like everything was okay. We had protected intimacy and continued our date nights and activities during that time. I was collecting evidence and working with my attorney to complete the filing behind the scenes and financial things. That lasted for about 4 months and she was served last week. I closed our mutual credit cards, took my half from our joint account and was completely prepared when she wasn't. In reality, I've been crying secretly some nights since I discovered her affair and it hurts. I'll see it to the end. I talked about it with a few friends and some of them told me I should have at least let her know I was filing for divorce so she could be prepared. Was what I did wrong? Am I the idiot for filing for divorce without letting my wife of 8 years know? Not the idiot. It's not like she gave you the courtesy of letting you know of her extramarital affairs. It's the same as not letting her know of the divorce filing. She sets the standard. She got what she gave, and the consequences of her actions are here to ruin what's left of what she already ruined. Moreover, you didn't blindside her. You took half of your joint account money while you could have taken it all. I'm sorry for what you're going through. From what you should have told her, so that she could have cleared the accounts before you, or spread false rumours about you being abusive, and you get arrested while she takes everything at the house while you're in jail. I'm sure she'll still try to spread some kind of rumour, or at the very least blame you for the cheating. Screw those friends. Never go easy on a cheater. They must learn that actions have consequences. I would cut those people from my life, clearly not friends. They think someone having an active affair deserves anything. They support a cheater. Screw them. I wouldn't even be surprised if the friends already knew about her affair. There are a lot of people out there who would spend years not telling their friends they're being cheated on because they don't like they're in the place to do so. You're good. Also, does the co-worker have a spouse? If so, ensure she's informed of the affair. Good luck and work on yourself. My girlfriend, 22, and I, 22 male, have been dating for 4 years. So far, our relationship has been great with no major relationship hurdles. However, we had our first major relationship hurdle last night and I'm unsure if I was an idiot. Since last week, my girlfriend has been talking about how hot the Olympic swimmers are, especially the Italian swimmers. She does it to tease me because she said she likes how I look when flustered and irritated. But I've told her many times that I don't like it and it makes me insecure, especially when she keeps talking about that one Italian swimmer who's all over TikTok. Last night, my girlfriend was again showing me this TikTok video of that Italian swimmer and how hot he is. I was mentally frustrated at this point. I then just told her that sometimes you have to make do with what you have, and she too would never be as pretty as Anna. I immediately regretted saying that, and my girlfriend got quiet and we barely spoke after that. We've barely spoken even today, and I've apologised multiple times, but my girlfriend is just very quiet and seems extremely sad. To give some backstory on Anna, she's one of my close friends. Anna is from Serbia. I've known her since middle school, and we initially became friends because we were both huge fans of Djokovic, who's from Serbia. But over time, we became very close friends. I introduced her to my parents, who also liked her a lot. When Anna asked me out once, I got extremely flustered and asked if we could remain friends. We still remained close friends after that, and that didn't affect our friendship. I started dating my girlfriend in college, and I told her about Anna. Out of respect for my relationship, I've maintained a healthy distance from Anna ever since. My girlfriend, however, was always a bit insecure, and she would ask me who was prettier between her and Anna. I always reassured her it was her, and that for me, she was the prettiest woman in the world. Yes, Anna objectively looked like a model, but I would never tell that to my girlfriend, and I always just reassured her. However, last night I lost my cool a bit and told my girlfriend that Anna was prettier than her. I do regret saying that because my girlfriend just seems extremely sullen since then. Was I the idiot? Well, you guys are done. Everyone's the idiot here, but you made it real and you made it personal. Your girlfriend was being obnoxious by doing this, but you also escalated it by involving someone you both know in real life. Don't think you're coming back from that one. You should have said something about a ridiculously hot movie star, not somehow in their actual lives, for sure. Yeah, well, you'll never be as hot as Ryan Reynolds. I mean Blake Lively. I don't believe there's a comeback from your commentary about Anna. If you love your girlfriend, you don't think such things. You can acknowledge that someone is pretty, but like a painting is pretty. You only have eyes for your girlfriend. Now you just told her that you don't think like that, so you're probably with her because you're not with Anna. She will never forget it. By the way, I do believe that your girlfriend was pretty immature with her Italian swimmers. I just think that you made your feelings a lot more real than her with some sportier on TikTok. You guys are done. She praised an internet celebrity who she'll probably never even meet. Also, she called him hot. She never said you weren't. You directly criticized her and compared her looks to your friend whom she is already insecure about. Her comments were teasing. Your comment was a personal attack. Oh, and you are the idiot. Dude, the relationship is over. My wife's sister is currently living with us due to financial trouble and she has a kid. She's a single mom who needs surgery on her spine. I own a surgery centre specialising in that type of surgery, so my sister-in-law asked me if I could set something up for her. The only problem with that is that since she doesn't make much money, she uses public health insurance instead of private. None of my surgeons take Medicaid or Medicare patients due to reimbursements. When I told my sister about that, I offered to help her find somewhere else. She doesn't want to do the surgery at our local hospital for some reason. She then started to spout BS about how their work ethic is wrong, which it isn't, and that it's corrupt. Anyway, she told my wife about that, and now she's trying to persuade me to find someone to perform the surgery at my place. Which is weird because if they don't want to, they don't really have to. So I'm asking here to see if I'm the idiot. My sister-in-law thinks I am, and she's done a pretty good job having my wife try to persuade me over it. Wait, so your sister-in-law is living with you for free, it sounds like, with her kid. She's on Medicaid, Medicare, and you offered to find her someone good who would take her insurance for necessary surgery. And she wants more, and your wife agrees? Not the idiot, but dang. I don't know why it's so hard to understand that you can't force a surgeon to perform surgery or accept a case they don't want to. Many doctors, dentists, therapists, etc. only accept certain insurance. There's no law that a private facility has to accept her. She really needs to get a grip on things here. Do any of them realize that the facility, the surgeon, the anesthesiologist, the anaesthetist and more would all have to take Medicaid in order for this to happen? Everyone bills differently. Speaking as a Brit, the whole US healthcare system is wrong and corrupt, but yelling at you won't fix that. I find it weird that you cannot convince one of your surgeons to do it. Have you even tried and asked any of them? Find another surgeon somewhere else, or offer to pay for it, because if you own a surgical centre, you must presumably be wealthy enough to sub for one. I also find it weird that you don't seem overly bothered about the child's plight. I have a nephew by marriage, and I'd be moving heaven and earth to make something like this happen for him. I'm not surprised your wife is starting to lean on you. Mine would do more than just lean. You give a lot of excuses but no real reasons why you can't do this. Based on current info, you are the idiot. Update: so my sister-in-law and I spent a good chunk of time looking for surgeons, and we found a paediatric spine surgeon for her who accepted their insurance. We have scheduled, gotten codes, and checked how much insurance would cover. I'm probably going to pay the deductible for the surgery, and yeah, we'll see how it does from there. Scheduled for about 2 or 3 weeks from now. Nothing too insane compared to some of these. My husband, 30, has a stepbrother, 31, and they do not get along. They never did. They also don't consider each other family, brothers, or anything else. His stepbrother will occasionally, from what I know, try the whole "we're brothers" thing when he wants something. But my husband has never and will never consider that man his family. If his mom and stepdad divorced tomorrow, or if his mom were to die, he would never have another thing to do with his stepbrother. He would not feel the need to stand by him if both his mom and stepdad were to die and they were the last of the family. He was always clear with me on that. He didn't invite his stepbrother to our wedding and told his mom that she didn't have to come either if she was unhappy with his choice. There's been absolutely zero contact for 4 years now. My husband's stepbrother lives or lived in another state and didn't come back to visit his dad, my husband's stepdad, which was the only contact either had in their adult years. Now he's returning to be closer to his dad, and he was looking for a temporary place to stay while apartment hunting. Right now he's with my in-laws and he has a big commute to work, according to the three of them, and my mother-in-law asked if my husband and I would let him stay with us for a few weeks until he gets a place figured out. My husband said no. He told his mom and stepdad not to offer money or another incentive because he does not want his stepbrother here, and that's final. So my mother-in-law and stepfather-in-law called me up and asked me if I would say yes and get my husband to accept it. They told me it would mean so much, and maybe they could finally bond and act like brothers. My mother-in-law told me it would be for a maximum of 9 weeks and that he would behave and wouldn't fight with my husband. I told her none of that mattered because my husband said no, and that was what mattered to me. She told me to think of family, our future kids, and having an uncle. I told her again that it didn't make a difference to me. Stepfather-in-law told me that as my husband's wife, I could help positively influence him. When I reiterated that my answer was no and I stood by my husband's answer, they told me I should be helping, not encouraging this BS. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Your in-laws are trying to play the two of you off each other, which shows a shocking lack of understanding of the situation or some delusion that your husband can be convinced into a relationship. Do they think you're not going to mention this attempt to your husband? Do they think that he's going to react well to this little stunt? Well said. My late father-in-law tried this BS with me. He was trying to convince my husband to go to his church, and after my husband made it clear that wasn't going to happen, my father-in-law tried to get me to convince my husband for the sake of his eternal soul. Needless to say, we did not join the church. They are going behind their son's back trying to get you to change your mind. They are definitely idiots, but you are not. Way to stand firm with your husband. Side note, first it was a few weeks and then a maximum of 9 weeks for the stay. I'm thinking he wouldn't be leaving anytime soon. Make sure to tell your husband his parents went behind his back to convince you to let his stepbrother stay. Only 9 weeks. Excuse me, OP's in-laws, don't you mean over 2 months? If you're in the US, be forewarned that in the vast majority of jurisdictions, tenant rights attach on the average after 30 days, and getting rid of a tenant who refuses to leave is a freaking nightmare. Spoiler alert. When my brother-in-law and his now ex-wife let his cousin move in for a few weeks, totally against her wishes, it took close to a year and a small fortune in lawyers' fees before they got him out. The lawyer who worked the eviction recommended the lawyer sister-in-law use for the divorce. Like many other people, my husband and I are struggling right now. He's currently the only one working after the company I worked at closed its doors 6 weeks ago and I wasn't able to find other employment. I still pull my weight, I still pay half the bills, and now that I'm home 24/7 I clean the entire house and cook all the meals. Well, his truck broke down roughly 4 weeks ago, and since I was out of work I told him he could use my vehicle until he found an alternative. I've been extremely irritated with the arrangement despite telling him he could use my vehicle. The reason is he's been using it for more than just work, and he takes off with my vehicle at least twice after getting home from work to either run to the store or whatever else. He's put 3,137 miles on my vehicle since he started using it, and to put it bluntly, I never have my vehicle anymore. Literally never. So I started really pushing him to get a new vehicle because I'm done with this arrangement. He started searching maybe a week ago, and he told me he was going to get a hybrid car because it was more fuel efficient. His work is an hour and 15 minutes away. He went to look at a car he decided on yesterday morning. Well, he came back yesterday afternoon towing a truck. It's important to note that this is his dream truck. He's wanted one of these for a god-awful long time. But here's the problem. The truck isn't running. It needs extensive work. It's a project at this point that we do not have the money to fix. I asked him how much he bought it for and he told me $3,800, which was $650 more than the car he was going to get. And when I commented on the work that needed to be done, he said, "I'll figure it out, I know people." So I said, "Well, you better call them people now because you're not taking my vehicle anymore." He just looked like a deer in headlights and didn't understand why I would no longer let him use my vehicle. I told him plainly what I told him last week. I was done with this arrangement. He was supposed to get a ready vehicle so I could have my vehicle back. He says he understands, but he can have this vehicle done in a month or less, and that given the model and condition of the truck, he got it for a steal, and where it's his dream truck, he couldn't walk away from it. And I get that, but I'm done being literally trapped in the house. He's gone from 3 a.m. to nearly 5 p.m. 6 days a week. He seems to think that since I'm not working, we're married, and since he would do the same for me, I should be more lenient and understanding here. I truly can't do it though. I want my vehicle back. And this truck was a dumb purchase, so he's not using my vehicle anymore. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. How many people have passed up dreams because they weren't practical? These days, I bet a lot. You are being completely reasonable. I usually write a lot, but what else is there to say? He's wasted money you can't afford, and he's completely ignored your situation. Being stuck. He needs a reality check. Do not let him take your car. The logic I don't understand. She complains they're financially struggling, and her solution is to go buy a car because she wants a car while she's at home, and with poor decisions like this, people wonder why they struggle. I think OP's an idiot. Her solution was to buy a running car. That's not a poor decision unless you're putting it on credit or you can't swing the cash. He bought a non-running truck. That's a poor decision when her sanity and his paycheck depend on him having a running vehicle. You don't buy a project car when you need a running car now. I can understand not wanting to be stuck without a car basically all day, especially if he's taking it after work too. But the better solution in my mind would be for her to drop him off and pick him up from work until he has a vehicle that runs, and to wait until they're both working to get another vehicle. It's inconvenient, but doable.